Fire to the market. Welcome everybody to another episode of Savage Cash stroke Savage Crypto. Here with me, Superman, your superhero of cryptocurrency, here to save you from a very bloody day, to give you some recommendations as to what to do. I am always good at times like this, times of crisis essentially. I have seen tons of market crashes, and in that time I have been recommending the best course of action, and had you done the best course of action at the time that I suggested it, then you probably would have gained big out of it. So today I am going to save you from this. I have got some really wicked stuff to bring you. This is going to be an epic show today. So today, firstly, I am going to comment on what is happening. Why is there such intense bleeding? Why is essentially the market bleeding like a ruptured aorta valve and bleeding out bucket loads across the streets? I am going to be sharing with you the top 5 sale items from today. What has gone down so majorly, allowing you to get a much better position in it. And then lastly, I am going to bring you the crown jewels. I am going to bring you the piece de resistance. I'm going to bring you an epic finish with a cryptocurrency that I have identified as being an incredible opportunity, a potential ant shares before it became Neo and before, you know, it really exploded in price. So I'm going to be bringing you that, and I would recommend that you watch it. And if you're excited about watching it, then essentially smash up the likes in excitement, because I imagine that you're probably feeling pretty bad. Your block photos are looking terrible. So smash up the likes, and make yourself feel a bit better. So what is the state of play at the moment? The market cap is at 571 billion. It has crashed tremendously since yesterday. Now, if you have done your research, if you've been looking around to uncover reasons why, you will know that the reason, and it's being splashed everywhere. You know, essentially it is China FUD. Okay, so it says market suffers from uncertainty in Asia, loses up to 40%. Okay, and it's being splashed over main kind of stream media. Okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and almost every other cryptocurrency is plunging. And then we've got this one to add insult to injury, which is European regulator warns investors could lose everything on cryptocurrency ICOs. So let's now move into the detail. So it's basically taking you through a lot of what's been happening, a big slump essentially, how the top 10 are looking, then 11 to 20, and then another few. And then here it goes. So it isn't clear what's driving what's happening, but a Bloomberg report yesterday suggested that China is preparing to block domestic internet users, so just everyday internet users, accessing international Bitcoin exchanges. The country's already banned Chinese exchanges and ICOs last year. Last week it emerged that the central government is working to drive out China's Bitcoin miners as well. And this in addition to what's happened with South Korea, the South Korea FUD, where essentially they are looking to ban Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as well. And it's mainly coming from Asia. Yeah, it is mainly coming from Asia. And so this is essentially kind of growing and growing. The fear and uncertainty is growing and growing. And what it's ended up with is it's ended up in big reds, big double figure reds. Okay, we are seeing Bitcoin under 12,000. It was under 12,000 earlier this morning. It went over 12,000. This is this morning in the UK. In the US, it's morning now. But it went up over 12,000, 12,400. Now it's gone down again. But then everything is going down as well. Ethereum's gone down from 1,300 to 1,000. Dash has gone down from 1,000 to nearly 800. And we're seeing massive losses on a lot of cryptocurrencies, except of course Tether. One of the best investments one can make if you just want your money to stay as is. And undoubtedly a lot of the reason why this is $1.02 is because of the volume. Okay, so anyway, carrying on. So yes, so you can see here, right down here, massive losses. Right? What does this mean? What does this mean for you? Opportunity is what it means for you. Because if you've been here before, which I'm hoping many of you have, but if you haven't ever been here before, this is a very usual thing to happen when there is some fear, uncertainty and doubt caused by a region such as China. This happened in September. Back in September, prices were a lot better to get into certain really good cryptocurrencies, like some of the top 30, which are now absolutely thriving, and which really thrived end of November and December, and beginning parts of January. It was really just going up, 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 up. So really the best time to get in was September. Now there's a little bit of respite. Now there's some breathing space. Now this is where you work. This is back in September during the China FUD. That was where I worked. People said, you know, what are you doing? You know, what's your kind of plan? And I said, this is the time when I work. The kind of November, December, January, that's the time when you just kind of sit back and watch and enjoy looking at your portfolio growing every day. You know, some could be thousands, some could be tens, some could be millions growing every day. And that's what you've been able to do. But now it's the work time again. Now is the time when you've got to look for the opportunities to get into cryptocurrencies that you've wanted to get in, and they've been thriving, and you've been thinking, oh, is it now still a good time to get into Ethos? Is it still a good time to get into Cardano? Now is the time. Now is the time. You've got to accumulate while it's going down, and even if it goes back up again, you've got to just keep on accumulating if you want to take a good position on certain cryptocurrencies, because like the likes of Cardano, which went over $1, look, it's at 64 cents today. So you just got to take the opportunities when they present themselves to you and while they last. Although you can't necessarily predict the bottom, you have got to really jump on the opportunities when you can. Now, I did mention this, okay, this article, which is not related to the China and South Korea or Asia FUD. This is something else. This is more fear being driven into the market, where people are, where basically, you know, it's like European regulator warns investors could lose everything on cryptocurrency ICOs. Now, ICOs have become huge, absolutely ginormous in like the last, 2 months, particularly this month. It's become ginormous. The biggest opportunity now to make money is with ICOs because you're getting it at the lowest possible cost. But this is targeted at people that have either just started or learnt about ICOs, or people even venturing or heard about ICOs. This is like saying you can lose your loss of investment. It's not like IPOs where you get a stake in the company. You could just lose everything is what they're saying. And, I think that most people who are operating in this ICO space know of the risks. So it's, at the end of the day, there's nothing new in here. Anybody who's in cryptocurrency, it's nothing new. So, at the end of the day, everybody has to do, there's an onus on people to do their own research, understand what's happening, understand what they're getting into before making an investment. So this is nothing new. So you see here that, there are a massive amount of cryptocurrencies just bleeding out as if they've just been cut open by the hip and they're just bleeding out across the streets. Or alternatively, it's like go back to the Baron Rothschild's quote, which I always bring out, the opportunities to make money is when there's blood on the streets. Basically referring to a stock market crash where stockbrokers threw themselves out of windows, there was blood on the streets. That was when money was there to be made, okay? So now is the time to make the money. So let's now move on to the 5 best sale items of today. Let me just make sure I'm live and that you can hear me okay. Smash up the likes in the meantime. 3K people watching. Nice, 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 nice. So anyway, yes, so 3K people watching, smash up the likes. There's only 453 likes out of 3,000 people. Come on, be positive, smash up the likes, peeps. I will join you like smashed. So, FUD sales, that's what I'm calling this. Fear, uncertainty and doubt sales. This is the time to jump in, and I'm going to come up with 5 really good sale items for you, okay? So, obviously today's 16th of January, and this may come down as a landmark day when you had a chance to get back in. There is every likelihood this could last a couple of days. What I have found is typically when America wake up, it goes one way or the other. And since America have woken up, it seems to be going the downwards way at the moment. But I wouldn't let that worry you. This has happened tons of times. Back in September, the market, the market cap went under 100 billion after ages and ages of being in the 9 figures, or billion figures. the 100 billion figures and plus. It then went down under 100 billion. So lots of things have tried to kill cryptocurrency. It's not going to happen. This is just an opportunity to get back in. Okay, and when you've got whales at play, the whales are the one that make the damage. The whales take their money out, put it into Tether or cash out, whatever, and that causes the prices to plummet. But then they get back in. They essentially break the market and then make the market again. So you just got to be accumulating whilst that's happening. So smashing it. Let me just make sure you can actually hear me because I wasn't. Yes, you can hear me. Cool. Okay, yeah. So let's start with number 5. So at number 5, we've got BitDegree. Okay, now BitDegree is a very new cryptocurrency. It's just literally come on Ether Delta. BitDegree is essentially going to be like Udemy, but for cryptocurrency. Okay, so it's going to be the Udemy that offers cryptocurrency, that allows you to pay in cryptocurrency to buy courses. But more than that, they offer something called smart incentives. That means that you can essentially get paid to take courses. So people who make courses, like for instance me, I can offer to pay you tokens to reward you for watching the first 3 lectures. Okay, for instance. Okay, so it's a reward-based learning platform. That's also what makes it different to Udemy. Udemy, you pay and you watch. Okay, with BitDegree, not only can you pay in cryptocurrency, but you can be paid in cryptocurrency, paid in BitDegree tokens for actually watching courses and courses of value. So that means that it's going to be an in-demand token because there's going to be, the supply isn't necessarily going to cover all the amount of learners. So to actually hold the supply is a good thing. Now, this has gone up to near 60 cents. It's been at 58 cents when it entered the market, and now it's plummeted down to 23 cents. That means it's a 61% sale. Imagine you're going into Ralph Lauren or I don't know, Walmart or JD, I don't know what shops you have around you, but essentially imagine going into high-end shop of desirable items you really want. Imagine you see a 60% off an item that you really want. That is this. It's 61% off, a chance to get back in. It's not quite at ICO price. It probably won't ever go to ICO price again, but it's a chance to get back in. And this is one of my top picks for this year. BitDegree, I'm going to be on BitDegree, by the way. I am going to put some courses on BitDegree. So, so I think that this is going to explode in popularity. In at number 4, my favourite cryptocurrency, Ethos. Now, Ethos was one of my top cryptocurrency picks for 2018. It darted from that point, which was about $3.30, smashed it to $11.35, really went for it, and now it has come back down again. And it's again a 61% off. 61% off at the peak. So this means that if you had bought it literally a few days ago, you've probably lost half of what you invested. That means if you haven't invested yet, you can now get into it. Okay, at $4.46, I see this being a 3-figure coin in future. This will easily be a mid-double figure coin this year on the basis of their mobile wallet, a wallet that essentially allows you to hold all cryptocurrencies, allows you to have the best security since the Nano Ledger S on your mobile. So therefore, and people have said it's actually safer on your mobile than on the internet or internet-based desktop or desktop-based wallet. So you need to have this cryptocurrency before it essentially releases its wallet, which will be in Q1 this quarter. So Ethos at an incredible price right now. In at number 3, we've got High Performance Blockchain. Now, High Performance Blockchain is a cryptocurrency I bought you the other day, a really exciting project. Essentially a fully built hardware and software blockchain that enables millions of transactions a second. It's as powerful as EOS, if not more powerful. Okay, businesses are going to be able to have it, and particularly big business. So if the likes of Google or Facebook or eBay or Amazon, if they wanted to have a blockchain business, a blockchain solution, fully built, architectured, good software and hardware architecture, fully built enterprise system, they would have their needs met by high performance blockchain. Now, the other day, this absolutely soared up to $13.65, where there was real excitement about this project, and it has since dipped tremendously down to $5.22, which was the price it was before it blew up. It was at about $5 where people were starting to identify this was a great opportunity. It doubled and then some, and now it has plummeted back down. So if you were looking to get involved in high performance blockchain, this is a good opportunity to, because I see this being a potential biggie. Up there with the likes of Cardano, up there with the likes of EOS, a super blockchain solution for business. In at number 2, Quant Stamp. Quant Stamp is a unique cryptocurrency, essentially allows cryptocurrency companies, developers to audit their smart contract software. So ICOs. Okay, so ICOs, they're big on smart contracts at the moment. There's a lot of ICOs, a lot of businesses looking to get into the crypto space, offer smart contract systems. And how do they audit it? How do they make sure it works? With Quant Stamp's automated solution, essentially, they use the auditing software. They essentially plant it on top, almost like overlay on top of their smart contract software to see if there are any security flaws, make sure that if people are sending Ethereum to take part in an ICO, that they get their tokens back. So make sure that smart contracts work. They're the only automated smart contracts auditing platform that exists in the cryptocurrency market. It's unique. And it surged up to 83 cents earlier this month. And now it's at 20, well, it has gone down to 27 cents. Don't know what it is now. It might be a little bit higher, but it's gone down to 27 cents. That's a 68. That's nearly 3/4 of the value it realized removed. Okay, it's lost nearly 3/4 of value at the peak. So that means that you can get in now at an incredibly cheap price, under 30 cents potentially. And over the next few hours, depending on how America reacts, then you can get more, accumulate more, or buy more if you haven't yet got it. So Quant Stamp, one of my big picks for this year. I see this being a huge cryptocurrency, a double-figure cryptocurrency easily. And, at the moment, it's low, under $1. So pretty flipping amazing. I personally will get more Quant Stamp if it goes to this price again and a little bit less. I have been doing some buying this morning. I have got a lot of money on Binance, and I've been using that money to get involved in some cryptos. And I've got a lot still to get involved in more. So, therefore, you've got to use this opportunity now to just accumulate, because you never know when it could just go back up again. Even if it goes down, get some more. So what's my number 1, peeps? What do you think my number 1 is? What do you think my number 1 today is? Let's just have a look and see. Quick show of hands. See if anybody can guess what is going to be. 4K people watching. Smash up those likes. That's fantastic. So anyway, let's see. I've already spoken about the market, Crypto Master. So just go back and have a look. Utrust, INS, Substratum. Utrust. Lots of people guessing Utrust. It's Utrust. So Utrust has had a humongous loss in this FUD period. So Utrust absolutely skyrocketed to $1.41 earlier this month. After having been released from ICO, getting onto the market, people bought this up and up and up. This is the next PayPal of the cryptocurrency world. They offer buyer and seller protection over and above what even PayPal offer, and this is in cryptocurrency. So essentially, if you're buying something with cryptocurrency, you're insured, okay? So that is something which I don't think that there's no one else providing such a platform, no one else providing such a solution. That's why Utrust has such incredible value to be realised, and it's just ridiculous. It's gone down to 32 cents, having been at $1.41. That is a ginormous loss, a loss of 78%. That is over 3/4. You are almost starting from scratch where it was when it came out from ICO. So you've got a chance to get in if you hadn't before. This is perfect, and if people had actually got Utrust at the peak or near the peak, this is an opportunity to get more at a substantially reduced rate. So Utrust is definitely my number 1, because over and above all else, it has experienced the biggest loss, yet it's actually got the most potential. Out of most of the cryptocurrencies out there that are currently experiencing losses, this one is a new cryptocurrency, very, very early stages, a chance to get in whilst the value is tremendously low. So these are my 5 picks. I imagine that these are going to go up significantly over the course of the next months. I don't need to worry about, if you take action or not. These are going to go up over the next months. I said the same when EOS What else? Gosh, there were so many at the time. EOS was one of them. Omisco was another one. 10x was another one. There were tons of them at the time that had been experiencing dramatic losses. God, I can't even think of it. But there were so many that were experienced dramatic losses that I knew would go up substantially, and then they did, and then some. EOS was at 50 cents. Now it's at $11. Actually, I think it's gone down a little bit from that. But, you know, that's the point I'm making. The fact is these are going to go up. It's just a case of, are you going to get in whilst the price is right? There we are. Marble Arch. So, that is my top 5. Now, I am going to be getting on to my number 1 subject of today. Okay, so I'm going to leave it. This is the big finish, all right? This is the big finish. I hope that you've stuck around for it, because it's going to be big. So, in light of all of these cryptocurrencies, established cryptocurrencies, ones that have been building up trust, credibility over the years, people have a lot of understanding of who's behind them, what's behind them. There's a new cryptocurrency, a new one that has just entered, and it looks so promising. It looks almost an unmissable opportunity. Now, if I can take you back to, let's just go back. Let's just take a look back in the history of NEO. Okay, so NEO at the moment, even in spite of what's happening in the market, NEO is a good $154. Okay, I got involved in NEO at $4. If you remember that, one of my best videos ever was all about getting involved in NEO at $4. Okay, and it has since then absolutely smashed it. Now, before that time, which was around about, gosh, where was it? About here, I think it was, because it initially exploded. Look, back then it was such a huge peak when this went up to $10, and then it sunk down to about $4. This was the point where I said, get it, because it's proved itself, and it turned in, and it was about to turn into NEO, and then since that point it's gone right up. But even before that point, the money was made down here. The money was made when nobody in the West knew about this. This was fully in China and Eastern audiences. Only they knew about ant shares at the time. And this is where people were investing, getting involved in it. And then all of a sudden, bang! Once the West got their hands on it, they realized basically that this was a potential Goliath, an Ethereum competitor, and they bought it all the way up to here, and it's got so much more growth to realize. But the money was made down here because nobody in the West knew about it. Only the few people in the West that knew about it made the profits. And there is another cryptocurrency, a new cryptocurrency now that I think is going to experience very similar to NEO. And that is Internet Node Token. Okay, now this is at the moment just completely a Chinese project, originated in China. If you have a look at their Twitter, they've just not even started. Look, 1,400 followers, hardly any followers. Just goes to show just how early this is. Now, this may have gone down even more since the point of this. This morning was 32 cents, and people have bought this right up, and the reason why is because all of a sudden it's now being made known to Western audiences, and I'm hoping that this does exactly the same. So, Internet Node Token, why is this special? The reason this is special is because this is the potential next Iota. This is billed as the Chinese Iota. Okay, it's an Internet of Things cryptocurrency. So what I'm going to do now, before I tell you essentially before I show you like the website and everything, I'm going to do a Savage Crypto episode on this. Okay, so what is the Internet Node Token? What is Int Chain essentially? What it is the Chinese Iota. It's a device and machine info sharing technology. Okay, so what this means is that essentially devices and machines do all the sharing of info. Now, when I say devices and machines, I mean anything that's got electrics, technical, that's got, you know, circuits, all of that kind of thing inside it. This is essentially a way of it being able to communicate with the blockchain. Okay, so you don't need any users. It's completely device and machine orientated. Okay, so it's userless, it's trustless therefore, and it's private. Okay, so this is an Internet of Things way of sorting data using devices and machines to transmit the data to the blockchain. Okay, so let's talk about the positives of the Internet Node Token. So, number one, it's a framework. Okay, it's essentially, that's what they are. It's a framework for devices and computers to share data with the blockchain. Now, why is this needed? Essentially, the issues with the Internet of Things at the moment is user privacy. So the users are the ones that essentially are sharing that data. It relies on users agreeing to share data with certain, entities, and that is how the information is supplied. And that puts the user at risk because, in the transmission, there's lots of hackers out there that can get people's data, that people's details are attached to the data that is transmitted to entities, and essentially that data can be used to hack those people. So there's user privacy issues. There's costs associated with, submitting data to these centralized entities, data costs and all that kind of thing. Plus there is security issues as well and inefficiencies because there are so many different entities that you are supplying data to. So all the information is not ordered, it's not organized by one central kind of resource, one central blockchain that has all the information. This is where Internet Node Token comes in. So it's node data sharing, the nodes within devices. They are sharing information between them and the blockchain. This basically cuts that pain. Okay, so it makes it secure because it's userless. It's not relying on a user to send data. It's the device that sends the data, not with the user information. It's just the complete device data sends it to the blockchain. It's secure, therefore. It's much cheaper because it doesn't rely on the big infrastructure costs that come with data being shared. It's also much more reliable because it's a direct transmission from device to blockchain. So it's not a person essentially submitting their interpretation of the data. It's the device itself submitting the data to the blockchain. So it's going to be absolutely, true information, and it's unhackable. And of course, it's trustless as a result because it doesn't rely on the trust from user to entity, because basically the device itself will just communicate with the blockchain automatically. So therefore it's trustless, therefore it cuts all of the issues involved in the Internet of Things right now. Now, Internet Node Token is essentially at the moment geared towards the China market. So trade, transport, so vehicular information. So self-driving cars submit data to the blockchain. Cars submit data to the blockchain. Trains and bikes submit data to the blockchain. Transport, logistics and freight as well. That information sent over to the blockchain via devices sending that information rather than people. So it's absolutely accurate because whatever is recorded on the device, which should be true, goes to the blockchain. So it's China market at the moment with the potential for it to go all the way globally, essentially. So this has ant shares potential. At the moment, this is only being shared with Chinese audiences. Chinese audiences are the ones that know about this. It's only literally a handful of people have found this golden nugget inside a ginormous haystack. They found it, and a few people have kind of said, this is it. And I've picked up on this, and obviously this has amazing potential because at the moment it's in, it's way under $1. Okay, but this has the potential to become much larger. Okay, and I'm going to share that with you right now. So in the second page of positives, they have got partnerships already established with some humongous partners. Okay, so IBM, Microsoft Research, Huawei, or Huawei, some universities, and the financial services industry. Okay, and I'm going to take you through that in a little bit. They have got 13 people in their core team. That means large breadth. Okay, now they've got 13 people, 8 advisors, but the most important thing here isn't the breadth. It's not the breadth that's covered by the team. It's not covered by the advisors, and it's not necessarily covered by the investors, the kind of venture capitalists. It's the absolute value in the team is the Internet of Things / device megastars. So I'm not talking about superstars, I'm saying megastars, and I'll show you in a minute. We've got people that have come from, Microsoft, Huawei, and big computer companies, device companies, 5G, You know, not 4G, 5G, people with real huge experience in this market. So I kind of define them as megastars. They're not just people that have been in the industry for a few years and may have, you know, some good contacts. I'm talking about like really big people in this space. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But their core team, they got a very, very solid core team, a very, very experienced one, and they cover a lot in the Internet of Things stroke technical stroke device side of things. Now, this is where you can see the AntShares potential. So at the moment, and this is based on what is said to be the supply. So this isn't confirmed yet, and that's the negative thing. But it's not been confirmed, but apparently there's 150 million in supply right now. This would mean a market cap of 69 million based on the current price. Now, look at its biggest competition, Iota. Iota is essentially 8 billion, and that's having gone down a little bit because of the market plummeting. But even at 8 billion, it's still 116 times the size of Internet Node Token. That means that this has the potential at Iota's current state, and this isn't taken into account the fact that over the course of years, Iota is going to be worth quadruple what it is now. This is giving a lot of room for Internet Node Token. God, it really annoys me having to say that whole thing, but Internet Node Token to essentially just to get to where Iota is now over the coming years, it would make it 116 times the size of what it is now. Okay, so gains of 116. That gives you the massive long-term potential and massive gains that you can make and multipliers that are there. They've only been listed on minor exchanges at the moment. So OK Exchange is a Chinese exchange that is very well known in China. It's very, very good exchange personally. I've used it, and it's a lot like Binance. Very, very user-friendly. There is some Chinese language, but you can get the English interface. It's also listed on basically exchanges I've never heard of. CoinEgg, Allcoin, Coolcoin. Never heard of these. So essentially, the only real listing is OK Exchange. That means that there's so much potential for it to be listed on KuCoin, on Binance, on Bittrex, on Poloniex, on Cryptopia, on Coin Exchange. There's tons of exchanges this could still get on, and it's only on one so far, and that's only because it's basically been launched to Chinese audiences, so it's available for the Chinese people to get involved in. But once this comes more Western, this will already explode in value. So it's on minor listings, so there's so much more value to be realized. And the main chain release, almost like the main net, essentially the beta version of the chain, is going to be released at the end of this month. That means that this is really the time to get in before the value starts exploding in it, because essentially they'll have a product out. They've got an alpha out, but the actual main chain will be released at the end of January. So you can see already some really good positives. Also, it's an ERC20 token, so it can be held on a nano ledger, so you can keep it nice and secure. It's 45 cents, so it's cheap coin price. And it's got global potential. And it's one of the, I think yesterday, it was the top performer in volume on OK Exchange. That just shows you, essentially, it just shows you how China have reacted to it, because it was top sales volume. It all sounds good, doesn't it? So there are negatives. So let's now take you through these negatives. So, number one, it's got 1 billion total supply. So essentially, there will be a dilution of the circulating supply over time. Now, this still puts it a third of the size of Iota in terms of total supply. So it's not too big. It's up there with the Civics and the EOS. Civics taken quite a while to move, but EOS has really grown based on having institutional money thrown into it. When Internet Node Token starts really blowing up, that's when it's going to start getting the institutional money. Because people, particularly in China and Chinese whales, are going to be looking to make this explode and essentially compete with Iota. So although it's got 1 billion supply, which is high, when you have real institutional money and when you've got real interest and appeal in a particular project, the supply doesn't matter as much, because there's going to be so much money invested into it that it will make the 1 billion supply a redundant fact. But there is going to be dilution of this 150 million supply. it's not 100% unique. You have got Walton, you've got Iota, you've got all this RFID cryptocurrencies that are coming out. They're essentially getting involved in the Internet of Things space. So this dilutes the uniqueness. Now, although Internet No Token has got unique features on it in terms of the device communication, it is still competing in quite a sexy niche, but also quite competitive niche as well. But everything that seems to be coming up in the Internet of Things are exploding, and IOTA is one of the big reasons, because that has just absolutely exploded. So based on how that has performed, a lot of people are looking for the next IOTA, and this looks like it's it, and it's not really come to the West yet, although it is kind of now, right now, thanks to me. So, anyway, so it's not 100% unique, so it doesn't have the first mover advantage, but it's not unique in a very, very attractive niche. There's 150 million circulating supply that's not yet confirmed, so it's conjecture at the moment. A lot of people have said that it's 150 million supply. There's quite a few sources, but it's not been confirmed. It's not on CoinMarketCap. I don't think the team have absolutely confirmed it on any of the social medias, so it's not confirmed. So essentially, when you're getting involved in it, you're not knowing what the circulating supply is and therefore what the market cap absolutely is. We're just operating on conjecture. But having said that, seeing how well this has grown, it wouldn't surprise me that it is 150 million, because it's growing quite nicely. It doesn't seem to be growing at the rate a 1 billion supply coin would. So it would lead me to think that the circulating supply is drastically smaller. But it's not yet confirmed, so it's just important you know that. There's no published roadmap. Now, on their white paper, it does say roadmap, and it does kind of give you an inkling of what they're going to be doing, but there's no actual roadmap. You don't know where it's going. We know that there's going to be a release of the main chain this month, but we don't necessarily know what's going to be coming up for this cryptocurrency unless the published roadmap comes out. However, having said that, there was no published roadmap for Cardano at 2 cents, and once that did come, you know, that was when the value started really exploding of Cardano, because people were saying, right, we know where it's going now. So without knowing where it's going, you're kind of investing into the hype, but also investing on the premise that once they do release a roadmap, you've already invested before people have realized the future value of that cryptocurrency. And then lastly, the product is in its very early stages. So it's in alpha right now, the main chain next month. So it's in the early stages. So we haven't got definitive proof of how this is changing the world, making it better, that the product's actually working and it's delivering value to those massive partners that we've seen. So, given all of that, I am now changing my rating system. So my rating system now isn't going to be a final rating. It's going to be a rating on 3 things. So, firstly, the team. So the team, I'm giving 5 stars because this is really a magnificent team. It's probably one of the best teams I have seen for a cryptocurrency, particularly when in terms of it operating in the industry, in terms of them being megastars in the industry that the cryptocurrency is operating in. So it's number 5 out of 5 for me. Project wise, so the product is in its early stages. They've not really got going, and it's still very early stages. Okay, still very early stages, and that would put it to about 1.5 basically. But given the partnerships that they've currently got, which are huge names, and given the uniqueness of the value proposition, this puts it at 3 stars. So overall, that makes it a 4-star cryptocurrency. So 4 stars out of 5, therefore excellent, given, you know, what we know of it so far. Okay, so am I investing? Well, you can see right there, yes, I am investing. And the strategy is long term. Okay, so I told you yesterday about the tax implications of selling out early. So what's the incentive? What's the point in staying in the short term anyway? So I think this is going to be, I mean, Iota's taken quite a while to realize its vision, to realize its value, and it's not even really fully realized it yet. And so this is the kind of next Iota. It's not really started yet. Therefore, if you stick in for the long term, you're more likely to see the gains, particularly as the cryptocurrency market absolutely explodes over time. I imagine that this is going to lead to seriously massive gains. I mean, you can see just if it literally equals the market cap of Iota, which, you know, over the course of years, it definitely will. That's a gain of 116 times from the point that you invested. Okay, so there we are, marble arch. So what do you think of that? This is a powerhouse, and personally speaking, the moment I read up about it, I absolutely loved it. So let me now take you through it. So this is the intchain.io website. Hopefully it'll load up. I had some issues with this earlier because it's all in Chinese, but I managed to get it to translate. So this is essentially the website. Okay, so it shows you, essentially it takes you through what the project is about, and essentially how they are adding value, their achievements, why it's being built and who it's being there to serve, what the mechanism is about. And then here we are. Here's the team. Now, a better explanation of the team is actually in the white paper. Okay, so there is an English version of the white paper, and you can see that the team is quite a big team. Okay, so here we have the core members. So here we are. We've got Xiang. Now, apologies about the pronunciations, because I couldn't do this. Boxmining could probably do this really well. He's really good with names from China, but I'm really bad. So apologies. So Xiang, he's the chief architect of intchain, and he's a young expert in the next generation 5G wireless communications and Internet of Things technology, and now majors in the applications of blockchain in Internet of Things. Okay, so he's from an academic point of view, he's done a postdoctoral research on such subjects. So he's obviously more on the academic side. We've got here another person that has come from a computer software company and worked for Huawei. I'm so bad at pronouncing things. Extensive experience in communication infrastructure, system architecture, research and development. So he's got the appropriate kind of technical expertise for a project like this. Worked at Eastcom. So he's not a younger guy. Worked at Eastcom from 1993 to 2005. Served as research and development engineer. Deputy general manager, a big company. Joined Huawei in 2005. Minister of Enterprise Communications. There's more. Everybody has kind of Internet of Things stroke expertise stroke what's the other one I'm looking for? Internet of Things and device kind of experience. Yeo Canning, Bachelor of Mathematics, Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, but he's got 20 years of IT experience, worked in Microsoft, SAP, which is, SAP, that's Financial Accounting Systems, isn't it? HCL and other well-known software companies responsible for large database systems, banking systems, e-commerce systems. So massive wealth of expertise there. And there's tons of them. And a lot of them have worked for the big mobile company. Then we've got Tan Lee, who's a team advisor, celebrated blockchain and big data expert, North American Blockchain Association co-founder, 13 years of Microsoft experience, author of Blockchain 2.0 and other books. And then you've got other big names here. So I would recommend you have a look. There's just too many to go through. But this megastar list. Okay, so there we have it, peeps. That is this company. So you can have a look more on their website, and you can see their partners here: IBM, Huawei, RUF. They're with Zhejiang University as well. There's actually a really good article on Reddit about this that gives you some kind of brief explanation as to what's great about it. Anything worth saying from here? As the Internet of Things industry continues to expand, there'll be high demand for projects like intchain, with intchain having an experienced team, very promising partnerships, and in a position to thrive long term with China's vastly growing economy and infrastructure. And obviously we know that from like the likes of Red Pulse, Neo, big companies essentially out of China. So there we are. I think that is I think that's all there is really to say on the next Iota. But anyway, let's have a show of hands. Let's see basically what you think of this. So let me just get down to the bottom of the chat, which may take a while. By the way, guys, they haven't contacted me at all. So if somebody's saying, "Oh, Superman, you've been, paid," I haven't been paid. They don't even probably know who I am. So what are you guys thinking? Yes or no? Show of hands, yes or no? Sounds good. Seems like a good pick. I love a coin for Internet of Things. Yes, yes. There's a few no's. a few no's, but mainly yeses. Mainly yeses. So there we are. Quite a few yeses now coming through. And quite a few that already invested. Quite a few already invested in this. I actually opened this out to my my mastermind group. So if you guys want to join my mastermind group, because I've got a Telegram channel basically that the mastermind group are allowed to go in. So so I sent this out via Telegram. So all you need to do to join that mastermind group, of which there's a community and also a Telegram alert service. So if you want to join that, just essentially join one of my cryptocurrency courses. $10 in the description. Selling like a god church, not $50 like it says here. Just $10 in the description. Just join any of them. You only need to join one and once, and that's it. And then you're part of it for life. So that's it, peeps. So essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring joy and optimism to you on a day which looks like it should be in a Great Depression. It's gone up a little bit. Look, Bitcoin's gone over $12,000. Ethereum's gone over 1,100. So some are picking up. Some may take a while. So it all depends. America are really the ones that kind of dictate what happens from this point in. Sometimes they really tank it. So back in the China FUD period, Bitcoin was about $4,000. It had slumped from no, it was about $5,000 and it had slumped to 4,000. And then when America woke up, I thought that it would go back up to 5,000 because it was cheap Bitcoin. But then it slumped down to under $3,000. So, you know, America normally is the make or break, because they're the guys, they're the big guys that really come in, and the whales start waking up and then they start buying up cheap stuff, or some of them take their positions out and make it go even cheaper. So really, because of the uncertainty, you've got to kind of accumulate while you can. I've given you top 5 sale items. I've shown you a really top one, a top Iota competitor, which I think is going to be massive, and I think probably in a year's time you'll kick yourself you didn't get into it. But anyway, so that is it for today. So I hope that you kind of are left feeling a bit more optimistic, a bit happier about it, a bit happier about what's happening. If you're looking at your blockfolio today and realise that you've lost a lot, think about me, because I've lost about $1 million something or other. So, and I'm not worried. Look at this face. Does this look like a face that's lost $1 million? I know at the end of the day it's all going to go back up and it's going to smash where it was. So I don't worry. You just shouldn't worry. You should use these as sale opportunities, and that is the best way to thrive in this market. So that's the best advice I can give you from the desk of Superman. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel a bit happier about it. And I hope that you look at this more as an opportunity than as a reason to hang a noose around your neck and essentially throw yourself off a chair. Because it's not that bad. It really isn't. A lot of these are picking up now. Icon just moments ago was way under $8. Now it's gone back up. And a lot of them are starting to go back up. So you've got to kind of take the opportunities while they are there and while they are present. Some will go down and you may worry, oh, why is something going up while mine is going down? Don't worry about it, because essentially if you have invested in something that's got long-term potential, you're not going to get badly burned. Anymore, so just to let you know, I was actually going to do a cryptocurrency video on today's video. Was going to be about ICOs, but because of what happened in the market, I haven't brought you that today. I'm not sure if I'll bring you it tomorrow. It all depends really on what's happening regards to the market. But at that time, that's when I'll bring you more data. So that is it for today's epic episode of Savage Cash / Savage Crypto. If you're not already, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll probably follow these guys as well. I would recommend that you follow any cryptocurrency you have an interest in to make sure that you're up to date with what's happening. I know that something's happening with Clearpole. They have got a site, I think, going to be launched tomorrow. Let's have a look at so let's have a look. So ICO verifications are open. Just 30 hours till the Clarify launch. So this is Clarify, the essentially the verification service that they're offering, where essentially you're making sure that you are paying who you think, you know, who you're supposed to be paying. So you're not paying a fake. You're not paying somebody who's not going to deliver whatever product you've asked for from a cryptocurrency perspective. So you can actually clarify you know, who you're paying. So that is an awesome product. Let's just have a look and see where ClearPal is value wise. Whoa, $6. Well, it has gone down a bit. This was at $9, but I did expect this would go down a little bit more. So in the run up to the market news, this is a potential buy the rumor potential. Okay, so anyway, that is it for today. I hope that you have been entertained. Smash the likes if you haven't already, because I can always do with more likes. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Savage Cash, and I will see you tomorrow. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you particularly like me to cover. Until next time, guys, it is lights out, all out.